Hi there, I'm Melinda Price.
GT3s. Hi and welcome to Fast Talk, the motor show where we like to promote grassroots motorsport from across Gippsland and Victoria. My name is Simon and I've got David with me. How you doing, mate?
How you doing?
Very good. What do you got for me today?
GT3s.
Oh.
Group GT3, known technically as Cup Grand Touring Cars but more commonly known as simply GT3, was initially created in 2005 by the SRO Motorsports Group as a third rung in the ladder of Grand Touring Motorsport, sitting below Group GT1 and Group GT2 categories. GT3 cars must be based on mass production road car models that are being built and sold at the time of homologation, which does not necessarily include the engine. For instance, the BMW Z4 GT3 used a 4-litre V8, which was not released with commercially. Group GT3 allows for a wide variety of car types to be homologated with almost no limit on engine size, configuration, chassis construction, or layout. Performance of all the GT3 cars is regulated, with the power output being contained between 5 and 600 brake horsepower. The cars in GT3 are required to have a dry weight between 1200 kilos and 1300 kilos. They also have onboard driver assists, such as traction control and anti-lock braking system, which makes the development of technology easily transferable from the track car to the road-going versions of the same cars. GT3 cars have a very similar power to weight ratio, but achieved either by high power and high weight, such as the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, or low power and low weight, like the Porsche 911 GT3. With the Audi R8 being a mid-engine 5.2-litre V10, the Porsche 911 GT3 a rear-engine 4-litre flat 6, the Ferrari 296 GT3 featuring a 3-litre twin-turbocharged V6, and the Mercedes AMG a front-engine 6.3-litre V8, the differing engine sounds, driving styles and performance are obviously one of the main attractions for fans. The newest car to enter the GT3 series, making its debut on March 1st, 2024, with the homologation number GT3058, is the Ford Mustang GT3. This is a reintroduction of the Mustang badge to the series after a 27-year absence. The introduction of the GT3 class to the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, in 2024 means that the GT3 class also runs at the Le Mans 24-hour, possibly the greatest motor race on the planet. GT3s currently compete in a huge number of different championships all across the globe. Series such as the 24-hour GT Series, Asia Le Mans Series, GT World Challenge America, World Challenge Asia, GT World Challenge Europe, British GT Championship, European Le Mans Series, International GT Open, and of course the GT World Challenge Australia. This means that GT3 cars can be found on some of the most iconic circuits on the planet. Circuits like Nürburgring, Le Mans, Bathurst, and Laguna Seca. One very interesting feature of all GT3 cars is the roof hatch. This is a section of the roof that can be easily removed to allow medical access to the cockpit where entry via the doors or the windows is otherwise compromised. With the regulations of GT3 promoting an almost old-school win on Sunday, sell on Monday, real-world appeal for fans, a highly competitive field, and a worldwide reach, the GT3 class is an unapologetically engaging series for drivers and spectators alike. So that's GT3s, all right? Big horsepower, production cars, lots of downforce.
Correct.
Yeah, fantastic fun.
Excellent. So we should probably go check them out.
All right, well, we were down at Phillip Island. You remember that? If you've forgotten already.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so stop that. This is what we did.
Okay.
So we're back at glorious Phillip Island. It's a bit windy, but it's a lovely day. And we are here for the Shannons SpeedSeries. So they run GT3s, GT4s, the Radical Cup. There is a lot on offer today, and we're back down at turn one, so let's see what happens.
We got the GT3s that are about to come out on track, but something a little bit different for the fans where they're going to have the opportunity to be able to do a grid walk. We've got people all the way along the track. Usually they're behind the fences. This chance is to be able to get right in front. Let's take a look. Well, this is the unique part of this event. I'm standing on the pole position and all the crowd has been able to come out onto the track and literally get within touching distance of the cars. Now we made our way over to the Audi R8. It is literally game over. But what I love about looking at some of these cars is when we start to look at a lot of the fins and we've got the diffusers and all the air work that's coming across the front of this car here. This is what makes these cars absolutely amazing, is being able to see how they do deflect it and create that downforce so the car is going to be sitting on the ground. Because what we don't see is all the work that goes underneath this car and the chassis, which is directing that airflow so it can literally see itself planted on the ground. But then as we keep moving back over the car, we've got the air coming out of the wheel arches is here, and it just continues through this car line. It's a beautiful car. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's really nice, Simon, but this is the 296 GT3 Ferrari. This thing sitting fourth on the grid. I can't see where you are, mate. You must be way back there. But this thing is an absolute weapon. Now, they've just introduced this into the GT3 series in Australia this year. the one thing that I cannot express how much I love are the flutes on the guards. They are insane. The 488 GT3 was a lovely car, but this is next level. So it is done fantastically at the Le Mans 24-hour last year, and it is a work of art. So in all honesty, mate, this is the one to watch for the weekend.
And Alex is saying that unfortunately she actually...
So it's not a massive crowd here today, but the crowd that we do have is absolutely passionate. And from the top of the pit building, you can see turn 12, you can see turn 11, it's Lukey Heights. Hang on a minute. Oi! Oi!
Hey!
What do you reckon? A good day, huh?
Fantastic day. Everybody should come.
So how much was it, like, to get in?
$35.
That's a bloody full day for $35.
And a free grid wall. Would you get that at Supercars? Methinks not.
Yeah, fair enough. So I found Melinda Price down here at the Radical Garage. Melinda, thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah, pleasure. Hasn't been the best weekend for us so far, but welcome to windy Phillip. At least it's not raining, yeah?
We're dry. We're dry at least.
Yeah, it was looking, we've been watching the weather for a week out because you never know what you're going to get here, and it was looking pretty gloomy Thursday and Friday, but today's magnificent.
It's fantastic. Now, you had a few problems with the car.
Yeah, we've had a few, yes, little, I don't know if they're electrical or whatever they are, but yeah, the car's not running properly, so that's a bit of a shame. I mean, always still fun to be out there driving around and having a crack, but you always want to be faster.
How do you go with this wind? You've got a headwind, or you've got a tailwind coming into turn one. Does that make things exciting?
I mean, it's exciting anyway because in a Radical, the turn one's flat, right? Which it's not in many, in a lot of cars. And the wind varies here a lot, so sometimes you'll sort of come flying around a corner and it's like, whoa, it wasn't like this last lap. So yeah, you never quite know what you're going to get here.
The Radical series, I noticed that partnered now with the Speed Series, which is great. You're going to be at Sandown in July.
Yep.
So I hear whispers about a girls program on track. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, a Motorsport Australia run an FIA approved girls on track program, which is to encourage any girls out there that might want to have a career in motorsport in any capacity, whether they want to be a driver, whether they want to be an engineer or a mechanic or a physiotherapist or a team manager or anything at all. So it's a day where the girls get to come and experience all of those activities. They get to talk to other women in the industry that are actually doing those jobs and hopefully form a bit of a network, and we can mentor them. Actually, our new team coordinator for Volante Rosso is a young girl that I met last year through Girls on Track, who reached out to me, and she's just been given the job. She started this week as team coordinator, so that's what we want to see, that it actually succeeds in actually getting people jobs and doing what they want to do.
That is fantastic, and the fact that you've employed the person who we've worked with, so that's great.
Yeah, no, it's really pleasing. To actually see it follow through to achieve the ultimate goal, which is, having more girls here in jobs.
100%. Now, as far as age is concerned, how old do the girls need to be part of the program?
You're going to challenge my stats a little bit there. There are two programs. I know one's for younger girls, I think around the 8 to 12. I could get this completely wrong. And then there is one for older girls, which I think is about the 16 to 22 mark. So, you know, I think in that older range, girls may have already started to think about what they would like to do, and in those ones we really have all the people there performing different jobs, and we break away into groups so that if you want to be a data engineer, you can sit there and chat with Romy Mayer from Premier, the supercar engineer, and she'll show you all the data screens and run through it. So no, it's just fantastic. So there are 2 age groups for school age girls, and yeah, it's really successful, and the program's growing.
Because that's what we want. We want more, we want more women in motorsport, but we also want that we don't have enough younger people coming through.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing too for the younger girls as well, or people that might not come from a motorsport background or a motorsport family that aren't exposed to that, to just come and experience it and maybe generate some interest and, you know, some more fans and some more people out there loving what we love.
Thank you very much for doing that, for helping with all that, because the more, the better.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I look forward to coming out to Lewana College one day and meeting all the automotive students and seeing your cool little program that you run. It sounds amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, the kids would absolutely love to have you.
Yeah, we'll do.
And we'll put you on the simulator and you can race the kids.
Oh, no, I'll embarrass myself. I'm Gen X. I didn't grow up with a sim.
No, you'll be fine.
Oh, well, we'll see.
We'll put you on a track, you know. I think we've got Phillip Island.
All right, let me do a radical at Phillip Island and we'll probably be okay.
Sounds pretty good. All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. My pleasure, thanks.
Well, I've found a brand new fan to motorsport, and standing with me today, I've got Ollie. How you doing, Ollie?
Good.
Now, this is your first time here at a motorsport event, isn't that right?
Yes, it is.
What do you reckon?
It's pretty cool.
What's been your favourite car so far today?
I like the Lamborghini.
Now, that's the red and white one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That thing's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, I also heard that you got to have a photo with someone before. Who did you meet?
Cooper Cuts.
Cooper Karts.
And his car.
What was his car like?
It's like purple, white, and gold. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, I also heard that you're going to get some merch from him. Is that right?
Yes.
So your first motorsport event, and you're already meeting drivers and getting free stuff. You're kidding me.
No. This is real.
That's amazing. Are you going to keep coming back?
Probably. I want to come back.
I imagine you've got Matchbox cars at home. Is that right? All right. So what's your favourite Matchbox car?
I've got a few Lamborghinis. I like them. I've got some Ferraris, Bugattis.
That's a collection right there, man.
I got heaps.
When you play with your Matchbox cars, what do you tend to do with them?
I normally make up my own race course and I'd race them.
Wow. So maybe one day, if you stick with this, you could race one of those around here. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Well, thank you, Ollie. I hope you have a great time while you're here at Phillip Island. And there we go. Another fan that we found on the racetrack.
That was an awesome weekend. So good. I mean, for the price alone, it was amazing. You had GT3s, you had GT4s. I mean,
I think for me, it was about the fact that people could walk the grid.
oh yeah,
Walking the
Huge.
grid. I mean, when we were shooting it, I think I even said in the video, I felt like I was Martin Brundle walking along along the pits and interviewing people and check this out. It was incredible, and people the general public had the opportunity to do the same.
Yep, and people were genuinely friendly. Like the drivers were genuinely friendly. I never got told, oh please, don't film here or
No.
get out or what are you doing?
They were
eating my lunch?
high-fiving kids and all sorts. It was wonderful.
Yep, yeah, it was awesome. I want to bring up supercars.
This is it. This is the moment.
All right. So the problem with supercars is the fact that they're supposed to be the best drivers in the best cars for this country.
Yes,
Top tier.
correct.
But the top tier doesn't go anywhere. Unless you're driving for a team that has other avenues.
It's like Penske and your ability to go to the US and go to NASCAR, etc.
Yeah. Once you get to that tier,
Mhm.
your avenues are very restricted.
Mhm.
If supercars, and I know supercars numbers are not doing so well.
Mhm.
If they had the guts to go, right, we're going to scrap this whole. I mean, realistically, the Mustangs and the Camaro, they're nothing like the cars that we see on. They've got a transaxle in the back, for God's sakes.
Don't have those.
No, like it's nothing like the real car. So why don't we race cars that actually have traction control and ABS and all the stuff that we actually have on the road?
So what are you saying, David? You're saying
This should be what our top tier motorsport is.
it raises a good point, and I think that behind the scenes we've had this feeling for quite a long time and grappled with this notion. We've been to the Bathurst 12-hour, had an incredible time up there.
On that, the Bathurst 12-hour goes for 12 hours.
Yes.
The problem with the Bathurst 1000, the snore fest that it has been the last couple of years, is the fact that once upon a time I would get up at 9 o'clock and I would get up because I'd missed the start of the race, and it would go until the news cut off the celebrations.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like, it went all day.
Mm-hmm.
I can have lunch. I can have lunch and watch the start of the race.
I think we literally, when the race started, we were already warming up the barbecue for lunch.
What is going on? Like, that is, I know that it's capped at 1,000, but we're talking, slow the cars up or whatever. Maybe we need to do that. But the reality is the GT3s, with the 12-hour, it was a far better race. The race was exciting.
Yeah.
We had, like, the top, I think, was at the last lap after 12 hours, and there was, like, something like 7 cars still on the lead lane.
Yeah. Look, I think there's a challenge here. I mean, there's history, and we want to be able to hold on to as much history as we've got. And Bathurst 1000 is part of that. We hold on to this notion of Holden versus Ford, although it doesn't look like that anymore. I think we're trying to hold on to things from the past, and there is, I think, an opportunity to be able to step into the future and start looking at whether GT3s, GT4s as a subcategory become the premier motorsport in this country. It does open up avenues for pathways for international driving, which is, look, at the end of the day, when we're looking at from a pathway perspective and for drivers, I would imagine that a pathway through to the World Series would be a more attractive pathway than potentially NASCAR or driving trucks over in the States.
Let's be honest, you're not getting to the top tier of motorsport in this country and then transferring over to, let's say, the WEC or a world level. You're not doing that. At least in if you go if GT3s in this country were the top tier, then you would go over to the European series. You might even get into the WEC.
True.
As a GT3 driver.
Yeah.
Pathway from there is into hypercars.
Correct.
That's you're
there then, aren't you?
Exactly. You're racing Le Mans.
Yep.
You're racing 24 hours at Nürburgring.
Yep.
Incidentally, why can't we do 12 hour at Bathurst or 24 hour at Bathurst? Sorry, we do a 12 hour.
Well, look, it raises all really good questions, and I guess that we've probably pissed off some people in the process by even raising this, but I don't know. Are we? I think it would be great to be able to hear from people, be able to share with us in the comments. It's an interesting question to be putting out there.
There's so much about this that it makes more sense. Like the fact that even Ford and Camaro, like the GM, they already make a GT3.
Well, they could transition straight across into it. It would be an easy.
You're not losing your V8s.
No.
You've got your Camaros, you've got your Fords, you've got your Mercedes.
Yep.
You've got your Aston Martin. How good did that Aston Martin sound?
Well, that was one thing we had up there, wasn't it? We were trying to pick out what was our favourite sound, wasn't it?
I still say the Lamborghini.
They all have their own song that they sing. It's extraordinary when you're hearing these cars.
Well, it's also
down that normal stretch.
V8, 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 V8.
Yeah.
That gets a bit, I want to say tedious. Don't kill me for that. But the reality is that at least this way you've got totally different sounding cars as well. So
obviously, people are loving Formula One. You've got some brands there that connect to Formula One as well.
Yep.
So you've got this allegiance that people can follow as well.
Right. Enough. I know I've annoyed some people.
Yeah.
But I've raised some issues and it's worth talking about. So
yeah, absolutely. So if you've got some thoughts, please raise them in the comments below. We'd love to have the conversation and share some of the thoughts that you guys might have. So either on the channel or on Facebook.
Yep. Or stop me in the street.
Do that too.
Anyway, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So,
serious time.
Put your serious face on.
Oh, okay. So, rally. I've got a good one. So, we've got the Bega Valley Rally. It's part of the Victorian Rally Championship Round 3, even though it's in New South Wales. It's on the 7th and the 8th of June. Going into about 10 p.m. So I'm not sure if there's going to be some dark night stage action there, part of it, but it's in the Sapphire Coast, so absolutely beautiful area around there. 200 kilometres of racing, across gravel, some technical forest sections as well. Should be pretty incredible.
It's a big rally.
It is, absolutely is.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
15th of June. The Trophy Tour is at Phillip Island for round 4 of the Trophy Tour series. So that's a whole bunch of production cars and stuff. Yeah.
Excellent.
Should be fun.
On the 14th of June, we're at Nyora. So Nyora Raceway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the Bob Higgins 50 lapper. So that's the feature event. And then you've also got your junior standard saloons, lady standard saloons, and then you've got the VSC 1200s at juniors as well. So lots of kid racing in there as well.
That's great. That's great. Get the kids in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, cool. 22nd of June, the Vic Carnicross is at Bryant Park, so our local track.
Yep.
It's a round of the state championship. As always, with a lot of these events, spectator entry is free.
Yep.
So, and it's a Carnicross, so it's not a motor carner, it's not a hill climb, it's a hybrid of both.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
The day before, though, on the 21st, another rally. So the Nissan Night Moves VCRS, which is at the Heathcote, which is over in Bendigo. Yeah, so more rally.
Yep, that should be fun.
You know what the good thing about rally is?
It's free.
It's free. Well,
free.
Not for the drivers, but for all the rest of us.
Spectators,
yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Yep, stand in the bush, watch some cars race around, get rocks chucked at you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Chewing dirt.
Don't stand where the rocks go.
No,
correct. Stand over there. Follow where the marshals tell you.
Do that.
Yeah, they'll keep you safe.
What else we got?
So the 29th of June, we've got round 4 of the MSCA Super Sprint Championship at Sandown Raceway. So go to the msca.net to get all the details so you know exactly what's going on. It should be a good day.
Perfect. Also on the 29th, we have the Vic Hill Climb Championships round 5, which is at Rob Roy.
Fantastic.
I know, good place to be. So, like I said, that's on the 29th of June, and that's hosted by the Vic Mini Club. So, if you go to the Hill Climb, hillclimbvic.com.au website, once again, all the information should be there for you.
Oh, look, all the links, we'll put them in the comments below, so they're all there, hyperlinks. Just click on what you want to go to, and it's all there.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
I've actually got one more.
Wow.
I know.
We've already done that one.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
I'm done.
All right. Thanks very much for all your support, guys, and we'll see you soon.
See you next time, guys. I don't know what I was about to say then. Oh, shit.
Looked at them. So that's GT. So that's GT. Nothing else. Just looked at him. Come on.
You sure you don't want me to do this?
No, I got it.